If you've ever felt like your mind just won't stop spinning in thoughts and doubting your choices, questioning your next move, and thinking, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just get a move on? Well, the good news is that nothing is wrong with you, and what you are experiencing isn't a dysfunction, it's just self protection. And according to trauma informed psychology and also neurobiology, overthinking isn't even a thinking problem, it's a protective mechanism. And here's something really interesting. When you judge yourself for overthinking, for not being able to move forward, when you criticize yourself for feeling stuck, for not being certain enough, confident enough, your nervous system begins to shut down because it perceives that self judgment as something very unsafe, which ironically triggers even more mental looping. The reason for that is because our nervous system is wired to protect us from threats. And when the threat is even internal threat, you're right, it's not a physical, it's an emotional threat, our mind steps in to take over. And this process is called neuroception, meaning that our body is constantly scanning for signs of safety or danger underneath our conscious awareness. And this process is completely automatic, so we're not even aware of it. So when it detects an emotional risk like pressure, uncertainty, fear, rejection, frustration, it activates the defense mechanism. And the defense mechanism can show up as overthinking, fight, flight, freeze, or mental rumination, which is a freeze pattern of the mind. So overthinking isn't just a habit, and it's not something you can switch off because it's literally your brain trying to protect you from emotional discomfort. It does not feel safe. It gives you that illusion of control to avoid what feels unsafe in your body, because somewhere deep in you there is a part of you that does not feel safe to take that next step. Not because you don't know what to do. It's not a decision problem, it's a safety problem. It happens because you're afraid of what might happen if things don't go according to plan. And here are some examples on how it may show up in your life. Let's say you get an exciting job opportunity, and then you start questioning whether you qualified, whether you're good enough, whether you're going to have enough time. You worry if you're going to mess it up, and then you convince yourself to not apply. So your nervous system is actually trying to protect you from perceived potential failure or rejection. How it may play up in your relationship is, let's say you want to have an honest conversation with your partner, with your friend, and you rehearse it in your head for days, imagining every possible and worst outcome until you don't even say anything. So this is your mind protecting you from fear of disconnection, from fear of being alone or having a conflict. In business, you want to start a new project or a business idea, but then you get stuck perfecting the plan, changing direction, doubting your vision, doubting your post, how others will understand you or not. And then you never launch. You avoid that possibility of public failure or judgments. And in a social interaction, you may analyze your conversations for hours, wondering whether you said too much or something wrong, or maybe somebody misinterpreted your tone. So in this case, your brain is literally protecting you from the discomfort or not being liked and accepted. And in all of these situations, again, it's not you, but there is a part of you that does not feel safe taking that next step. It's all about emotional safety, not because you don't know what to do, but because you or the part of you is afraid of what might happen if things don't go as planned, that you won't be okay. And underneath all of this overthinking turmoil is a fear of feeling something uncomfortable, fear of feeling an emotion of shame, rejection, unworthiness, not being enough. So overthinking literally is just your brain trying to protect you from that emotional discomfort. And the more you try to logic your way out of through, the more you try to come up with endless what if scenarios, the more stuck you become, right? And this is what most people don't realize, that behind every mental loop is unprocessed emotion, unresolved emotion, usually that emotion that we never felt safe to feel in a past. normally in our childhood. And if that suppressed emotion is fear, failure, not good enough, no amount of logic, no amount of analysis will help you to move forward, because these kind of emotions, they are stored in our limbic system, in a emotional part of the brain, not the rational part of the brain. And when these emotions become activated, when they become triggered, they override our prefrontal cortex, the logical part of the brain, which is responsible for making decisions and taking actions. And that's why reasoning, logic, our way out, will not work when we're stuck in an overthinking loop, because our emotional brain is way louder than our rational brain. So even if their situation changes, even if people around you change, even if you change a job, relationship, whatever, overthinking stays, because it's not about the logic, it's not about the out there, it's something about here, it's about unresolved emotion. So what do you do instead? How do you break through that overthinking loop? Well, firstly, you pause. You take a breath and then you get very curious. And instead of asking, what is wrong with me? You ask, what is going on within me? And that simple shift from that self judgment to self inquiry can rewire the way your brain responds to overthinking. And studies in neuroscience have shown that self compassion, curiosity, acceptance reduce activity in our brain's default mode networks. And they increase our emotional regulation, which in turn helps us to make clear, more aligned decisions and take actions. You see, when you get curious instead of critical, your nervous system calms down. It starts feeling safe again. And when the nervous system feels safe, everything begins to change. That's when new perspectives emerge, new solutions come up, new ideas pop in, and our energy becomes more magnetic, more available. And this is how the cycle breaks, not through force, not through thinking, not through effort, but through awareness. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to effort or think harder. You don't need another what if scenario. And you certainly don't need to have it figured out all before making that next move, before feeling safe to take that action. All you need to do is to feel safe within yourself, to meet yourself with compassion, curiosity, and awareness. And that's exactly what I'm going to go much deeper into my upcoming masterclass. Think less, achieve more. And it's being held on July 24th, 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to go deeper into the emotional roots of overthinking, and I'm going to walk you through some very powerful tool to help you stop that mental clutter and reconnect to yourself, to your emotions, and break those mental loops for good. So if that speaks to you, and if you're ready to stop thinking your way in circles and start moving forward, whether it's in your relationships, in your career, in your business, in your health, I would absolutely love to have you there. So I dropped the link to register underneath the video, and I hope to see you on the 24th of July. Bye for now.